So another question is saying that I am a 2-time cancer survivor thriver, now focusing on the top anti-cancer supplements and foods to concentrate on after chemo, suggestions on where to focus.
So the question was about what type of supplements to add to the anti-cancer dietary protocol portfolio. Is that what the question is?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, the strongest data we have on supplements that prevents cancer cells replication puts together certain natural substances like compounds derived from turmeric, like they're called curcumin compounds, like there's a curcumin 3 compound, and then we mix that. So that's one of my products is called UltraCell Biotech, which mixes the EGCG from green tea and a certain green tea extracts that have shown to have anti-cancer effects. And it has black turmeric and other substances that facilitate absorption. But we give this particular supplement in a very specific way with a person with cancer, because we want to keep these compounds. And there's been a study on this. There was a study on the ENOX2 protein, which raises in the bloodstream when people have early stage cancers. And they found that people who took the supplement round the clock, almost 80 or 90%, I forget if it's 80% or 85% or not, their proteins demonstrating they had cancer disappeared in early stage cancers from them taking these substances around the clock, because these substances don't allow cancer cells to replicate. It puts them into a hibernation type state. But you can't just take the supplement once a day. You have to, because you want to keep it in the blood all the time, so that the cancer cells are never not exposed to it. So we give it like 5 times a day, at 7 o'clock in the morning, at 12 noon, at 5 in the afternoon, at 10 o'clock at bedtime. And then when you wake up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom between 1 and 4 in the morning, you take another one. So for these people with cancer, we have them taking these supplements around the clock. And the other supplement, so that's, my supplement is called UltraCell Biotech, because we're trying to buy the most, the highly studied ingredients and the most expensive forms of them to use for people with cancer. I take that supplement 1 or 2 a day myself. I don't have cancer, but I'm taking it as a preventative, as an anti-cancer supplement. But for the people who have cancer, I'm giving them a higher dose and trying to feed them around the clock. Okay. The next supplemental ingredient that we use most importantly with cancer patients, we've already mentioned today already, and that is a combination of mushrooms, of dehydrated mushroom powders. And we also have people eating fresh mushrooms, but you're not going to generally eat 12 or 10 or 12 varieties of mushrooms in your diet, like you maybe would have if you lived in a natural environment and eating from the woods and the jungles. But today, you're eating one mushroom, commercially cooked mushroom, so it's best to. And I'm also saying to your diet, get the shiitake mushroom, and then add the other mushrooms, even if they're expensive, the black trumpet and the chanterelle and the oyster because you're not going to use that much of it, even if they're $12 a pound, they're worth it. Get the variety of mushrooms. I even have, because of my nutritional guidance, I even have on my website a bag of dried mushrooms that are forest grown, wild grown mushrooms, including black trumpets that are so important for cancer, that people can buy them and pop them in their soups. They're dehydrated mushrooms. They're not ground up into a powder. And I also have both Immune Biotech, which is the 10 mushrooms in a pill form, and also in a tea. I have a chia tea made with 10 mushroom extracts too. So they can take the tea form, they can take the pill form, they can take the dried mushroom blend and put it in. But the next most beneficial thing is trying to get all those 10 species of anti-cancer mushrooms into your diet on a daily basis. They don't have to be stretched out through the day and night like the EGCG and the curcumin compounds are. You can just take it with breakfast and dinner or something. You know what I mean? So those are the most important compounds. But still, the next most important thing after that, and all these herbs you've heard of Simon and Garfunkel, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Well, the parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme, right? They have all these herbs, tarragon, caraway seeds, moringa. There's all these herbs, sage, rosemary, thyme. There's all these herbs that have natural, very powerful anti-cancer dill. We use them both dried and fresh in the recipes we're making. And then, so that's really protective. And again, the next most powerful thing you can do to fight cancer in your diet is to use the microgreens and the sprouts. And you can buy them in the store. You can buy broccoli sprouts in the store. You can buy in organic stores. But for people with cancer, it's much more economical if they can grow them themselves. Buy the sprouters and make your own mixture of. And I like to make a mixture of. I make kale, broccoli, and radish sprout, and then I use microgreens. So I use that in the sprouter, and I have this mix that we use. And the difference between microgreens and sprouts are the sprouts are grown in water. It's a seed sprouted in water, and when it gets that big, we eat it. And the microgreens, we put like a half an inch of good soil, organic soil, usually with some Canadian sorghum or peat moss. It's a mixture of soil, organic soil and peat moss mixed in there. And we layer the seeds in the nutrient mix in this organic soil. So when they grow up, we cut them off at the base and we don't take the soil and the root, but you get a different type of nutrient exposure from the microgreens than we did from the sprouts. And if you're going to say to me, I can give you more supplements, but it's actually better if you could add the microgreens and the sprouts, you get a higher concentration diversity of anti-cancer compounds from the mixture of broccoli sprouts and radish sprouts.